What's happening, guys? Welcome back to episode 14. So, with last episode, we have finally ran into the legendary Stalker. So, at this point, what we're going to be doing is our final push to the end of the DLC. We are going to have a rather small transitional zone leading to the Rose Estate. And the Rose Estate will act as your final chapter, your final dungeon, leading to your main boss of the DLC. So as we go through here, there's going to be a lot of enemies you face. You're really just so powerful as you're running through them, but you can be utterly surrounded. A lot of dogs, bears, apes. I mean, pretty much everyone that you've encountered through the DLC is being thrown at you in abundance, if you will. Now, Leia is very powerful. She has extraordinarily strong weapon art that do, huge AoEs, and she is great help. So that's what I said, you're almost having a power fantasy here, because any enemy that you may have struggled with, you are pretty much just running through, quite easily at this point. At least for a while, But that's it. We're just on the way to,
you have some skills.
the Rose Estate. All these guys are pretty much in our way, and we're trying to hurry and get there. So because of all this, you're kind of just running through all these guys. But still, be observant, be cautious. That's where we came down from. You get your big boy, but he's surrounded by dogs, too. He's trying to come at everyone. So you got AoE now. Alright, I just get a hit. There's definitely times where you can get in danger. But all in all, not so bad. There we go. Because you guys remember him, like he's always hell, right? But he's not so bad. So this is going to be your next ring. It's not that great. I mean, it depends. It could be situational. Shepherd's Amulet is going to boost the damage of throwable items. Now, obviously, you don't get it very late in the DLC, so it's not really an option for a first-time playthrough.
Had a good teacher.
And I was about to say, I don't really care for it because I have my bow, but both of which are in the DLC. So these are, new game plus options, if you will. You can use throwables, you can use the bow, whatever you like. But if you want to use throwables, I'll boost the damage. Unfortunately, it was not in the base game, but it should have been. It should have been. Now we got two bears. Again, you're going to be so surprised how quick he is running through at this point. And these guys are getting pure hell. But, not so bad. Not even.
Here we go.
Unless you're like me and you keep missing your fucking timing. Thank you. As you see, even, with a little bit of trouble, we're just running through it. That's kind of what I was saying. It's almost like a power fantasy, if you will. Because as far as the story goes, you guys are trying to hurry to save Romy, right? So I think they may even have less health. I mean, obviously they still have a good amount, but they have less health than they typically would be. You're just really, really high level at this point.
Oddly familiar.
Between the rings and everything else that you have access to. Yeah, stop it.
You have some skills, I must admit.
Alright, Leia, we're coming. She wants to run. You can't ever take your time with her. Like I said, story-wise, there's just a lot going on. Thank you. That's her AoE. That's her weapon art. It's crazy. It sends like a bunch of projectile slashes out to annihilate everything. Even elite enemies for the most part. And he's always, dead. You see what I'm saying? And you guys know how tough he is, whether it's the base game version, DLC version. That guy's always very, very, very tough. However, like I said, we just kind of run through it all. I don't know if they have less than health or if it's just because of how strong we are. It's just something I've noticed. Yeah, dogs jump out. I think there's two that want to jump out. You're about to start seeing all your apes and all that shit.
It's this way. Quickly.
We're coming.
Have we
She's gonna keep saying that you remind her of someone. That's because I don't want to spoil anything. Let's just say that we may have more with Leia than you might originally think. Then her weapon's just like the saber, and just, I don't know. For the most part, I think sabers are like kind of lackluster in comparison to other weapons, but the one she has is exceptionally powerful. We'll get her set and her weapon fixed. It's for New Game Plus, but man, is it good. So it does a lot of damage, but the weapon art's really good. The moveset's very unique too. Like the sabers in the base game, I'm like, that's cool for a while, because it's a quick weapon. The deflections seem like they're easier to land because it's quicker. But, yeah, hers is really, really can't wait to get it. I mean, we have time to use it, right? But can't wait to get it. Thank you. See, even big boy, goes down like a sack of potatoes, right? Now, once you get to the bridge, I would highly recommend buffing up. There's going to be a handful of smaller enemies, but there's a really big guy here that's quite formidable. We fought him in an optional area, hidden area, a few episodes back in Chapter 4, when we went into a cave off the ship. But you haven't really fought him much in this kind of thing. There's only 2 of them in the entirety of the game and DLC. Thank you. So we want to buff up. You should roll and kind of jump back. Oh, she got it on for you, Leia. Alright, that's going to get you a ring. So, a Solutionist ring is really dope. If you're doing like an advanced build, you're using your Legion, it builds up. So if you're out of health completely, and that's why I would recommend you have to be a really good player, but if you're completely out of heals, it gives you more Fable arts. Or not so much for advanced, my bad. Just for anyone, but it gives you more Fable arts when you're out of health, but also gives you more Fable damage, which would be really nice to get a damage boost. It's quite substantial, like 20%. The fact of the matter is you have to be at a heal, so, it's high risk, high reward, right? Definitely don't recommend it on your first playthrough because you're not familiar with the upcoming boss. And the upcoming boss is, he's gonna make the nameless puppet look like a fucking kitten, guys. Seriously, like a kitten. The guy is so tough. So I wouldn't. That ring could be nice when you get plus, when you know all the movesets, but until then, not so much. You end up just getting yourself caught. There's a lot to do. When you go in, she's just really getting sick at this point. So she said, forge on, I'll catch up, I have to take some medicine to help, deal with what I'm up against, which is undoubtedly the petrification disease. So Leia is dying, she's slowly dying. She's trying to take out Arlecchino before she goes because of, he's just causing the reign of terror, obviously, he's killing everybody. But that's kind of what you're seeing play out. Now, for the time being, there's nothing until we get to this door. So once we get into this door, you're going to get another cutscene. We all know that we've been looking for Romeo. Well, this is another altar that Arlecchino has made for her. If you remember back when we took out Marchiona, Puppeteer of Death, we found her father, Leia's father, in some twisted, bloody altar. Well, now it's Romeo. So he's leaving these, I'm going to call them altars, that's kind of how they are, but he's leaving her loved ones around like this. He's a murderous puppet. He's a psychopath. I don't know how they programmed him, but they didn't do good. Remember, Arlecchino's the phone riddle guy with the Trinity keys in the base game. At that point in the present, he's already been destroyed. But right now, he has not been. And he is a true fucking menace.
Not you.
He pretty much stretched Romeo's arms and legs. It's fucked up. That's actually very fucking sick.
This wasn't supposed to happen.
You feel bad for her too because typically
Why does this keep
it's like the master that dies and then the apprentice would, carry the torch for them and move on. She didn't get her apprentices killed. I'm sure they made their own choices because she's still alive and they're not. But she lost both of her apprentices, people she was responsible for. So, it'd be pretty rough, I think. Bloodstained photo. That's a meeting location. She just says, I'll get up. So once you get that, just turn around and you see some stairs behind you. Some on the left, some on the right. Doesn't matter which ones you take. But he has sent her a photo of a meeting place for their final, final battle.
Apprentice like that.
So that's a statue hung upside down. He cut his arms off. The rest of his body's still missing. So if you were to look at... it's back this way, isn't it? Collectibles, right here. So if you were to look at this, that's the rest of his body without the arms on, but that's the meeting place. A photograph of a young man whose blonde hair is streaked with blood. His face is not visible. Well, he's pretty much doing is taunting her, hoisted up Romeo's body, and hey, this is the final spot that we're going to battle to the death type deal. You know what I mean? So if you circle around, that just brings you back down. That's the other stairs. This is a shortcut we get here in a bit. Not too far away. So the only real option is to forge on ahead. You can't play the piano this time. Not here. There's a, with this being the Rose Estate, there's actually a shit ton of lore here if you guys want to check it out. Move on up, get your next collectible. But yeah, there's a shit ton of lore. If you guys remember Sophia, Sophia actually lived in this house during all these events too. Sophia from the main game. And then this is the Monad house. So this is where Leia's from. So she's battle hardened, but she's actually from money. You know, she's from wealth. But she lost her family and, you know, sent her on this path. Obviously, as you work your way through here, make sure you lock on everybody in the hallway because any one of them can come up. They're not dead. And then from there, we're going to go room by room. Some rooms don't even have any items, but still, it's not really just to be sure we get all the items. It's more that we don't want people jumping behind us. And there are items to get, make no mistake, but not always. You know. Worst case scenario, we just don't want these guys to get behind us and, you know, boxing us in. That's the same room over there on the right. We'll have him in the bathroom. Pick that up on the left. Just like I said, there's more lore in this location than anywhere else. Anywhere else. Because you got to that point in the story where they're pretty much revealing everything, you know. Everything you picked up on or not picked up on. Really cool room. Adds to the realism of the attack, I think. Alright, so we're about to go get you guys your shortcut if you're worried about it. It's not far away. Hey. He dodged that. Thank you. Now this is a pretty rough fucking fight. This guy was in the main game. There's only one of them. He was in the final chapter at the arcade. But that's what I'm saying. It's very difficult. Enemies sometimes. You only fight them once. And it does feel like a missed opportunity. I've said it before. I wish we had some of these type of fights, you know, like we have more of them. For one, you know, it would make the game a little bit tougher. I think it could have been a little harder, for being honest. I mean, Lies of P is difficult, to say the least. It's very difficult, but I think it could have been a little bit more. Just having more encounters like that. Instead, most of the time we're just fighting run-of-the-mill guys, you know. And they have these really great designs that they just barely use. And I think that they weren't trying to overwhelm everybody, you know, in my general opinion. And so either way, as you're going down, we're going to make a left for your shortcut. If you guys feel like you need to rest, go for it. I have almost all of my heals. We've used a couple, but, you know, I think we'll be okay. Yep, we gotta go straight first. This is Sophia's room. It said Sophia from the main game. This is her room. Then there you go. There's Leia, Romeo, and Carlo. Her were the two princesses. And then here you go. That's Sophia's diary.
Wait.
That's obviously gonna get some lore of Jiminy.
This must be Sophia's room. So, she was here when all this happened.
So before the events of the base game, right? This is what happened with Sophia. One of the things. One of the many things. It actually gets pretty dark in here. I usually never use this. I did catch myself using it in the base game walkthrough a lot. Because I know I can see. But I was like, well, what if everyone else can? You know, what if everyone else can? So, now, when we were in the hall, you didn't really have to... That lady over there, it's like the blob, you didn't really have to deal with her moveset. You just put her down. She was kind of on the floor. But now, you will. She's ready for it. Not so bad. Just a few spin around attacks. Pretty much the kitchen staff. And we fought this guy in the underground area. You guys should know, you know, exactly what he's about. Thank you. kind of speed it up on us a bit. I can't see. Thank you. Yeah. He's a heavy hitting boy. And you know, his enemy design as well. It's like you've only seen this guy one other time. So yeah, everything's still pretty telegraphed. I don't think you've really had much practice with the guy, if I'm being honest. So we're about to start heading downstairs into the kitchen, or guess you could call it the stock room, or anything else. This is going to progress you further in. Just make sure you have everything before we do. Definitely take the ladder. You could drop down, but it'll almost wipe out all your health. So take the ladder. Don't be lazy. I know this because I was lazy and I found it the hard way. You know what I mean? Alright guys, there's the next Stargazer. We're only 15 minutes in. We're going to try to actually wrap up the Rose Estate and get up to the final boss. That way next episode will be our, our conclusion. We just have the final boss of the DLC, and then we will have just some loose ends with quest lines, things of that nature. So as we're going through, we're going to be very thorough. Make sure we clear all of our rooms and get all of our items. There's quite a bit here, guys. Quite a bit here. No, you don't. I mean, there's rings down here. There's all types of shit. So you do want to make sure you get it all. Some of the enemies are definitely a little bit of a pain in the ass. Okay. It's not very kind. So over here on the left is going to be a chest with the Frenzied Amulet. Now, we've already got the Frenzied Amulet, but we got the Frenzied Amulet +1 for whatever reason. The regular Frenzied Amulet is here. I might be backwards on this. Stop it. Yeah, the little guy falls from the ceiling. Dude, how are you doing so much damage again? Yeah, that's done. So, either way. This is the one that if you do a critical attack, gives you some health back. We picked up another version of this. Yeah. So you get the Frenzied Amulet +1 before you ever get the Frenzied Amulet, which is weird. But I'm thinking it's because we're in New Game Plus. I've pretty much only have played the DLC in New Game Plus, so when I take notes on what items we're going to get, it's hard to tell what should be there and what shouldn't. But I do know that +1 rings are typically in a single playthrough. Although the one for weight was, right? That was a new game. You got the weight ring early, and then very late behind the Trinity door was your Carrier's Amulet +1. So maybe it was, always there. It was kind of hidden in a ship. We got this before. So obviously, before we go on down, there's a last room here. Notice it's not, not getting it. And that does bring us full circle. Just check your inner areas, make sure you're not missing any items. Especially now getting towards the end, these guys are going to drop good things. Late game upgrade mats for weapons. They could just drop really good consumables, maybe even some really good air gun. Now you're going to have a blast from the past here, guy you haven't seen in a while. Really, really weird enemy. These guys, the timing is just really off, if you remember. It's like really dragged out, but now they blow up. Yeah, I forgot to mention that. They also have like these spin attacks now they did not have before. Oh, watch out. I didn't realize he was already dead. Hey, bub. It's funny, we can't break through, but when he blows up with a little bit of acid, it gets right through these canisters here. Alright. So over here on the right, that's a lift. It's going to bring you down to the next section. So before we take that, it's actually important to go this way. So I would buff up. You know this fight, but still, we'll be a rush before too long. It's much more difficult than the base game, I think. Just the amount of damage it does. The moveset's fairly, it's the same, but I will say his damage seems to be a little bit higher. Foster's definitely higher. Yep, that's new. Okay. Thank you, Burn. Appreciate if you just kick in. Jesus. About fucking destroyed us there, didn't he? Alright, get your quartz. And we're good to go. It's just a quick load dead end, but obviously rewarding, to say the least. Especially quartz. There's not many quartz in the DLC. There's a few, but nowhere near what you found in, like, first half of the base game. I mean, yeah, if you include the ones you buy, yeah, even then, because you can buy ones in the base game too, but if you include the ones you buy, I think there might be a total like 8 or 10, which seems like a lot, but at this point, not really, you know, not really. I think there's only like 8. So you're about to get into some dark, twisted shit, because we're getting later into the, you know, the mansion at this point. Make sure you interact with that humanity. We've interacted with everything, and I recommended that you did.
So many bloodstains.
That's her family.
I don't think they made it out of here alive. Even a former leader of the Order was helpless when death came calling.
Okay, I want to double check. There's some bookshelves you can move out later on. I don't think I ever checked every single one of them. But I highly doubt that there was any others I missed. Because, like I said, when we take notes, we're extraordinarily thorough. But pretty much, you're going to see, you know, a little flash on. You can see like a little light there. The bookshelf will open up. So if you don't see that, you're good to go. As I said, it's kind of hard to miss. But I do want to make sure. Look what that is. That's actually the cask for the Legion arm. Isn't that pretty cool? Kind of like a little workshop. Everything they've been working on. Pretty cool. We're at 21 minutes. We might just go over a bit to get all this done. We're getting towards the end now. The end has the most going on. It's actually not a big area. It's a really neat library. But there is, you know, there's a lot to grab and, you know, stuff like that. And you're going to notice that there's some shit you can't get to yet. So you see those. We're going to move these bookshelves around and pretty much be able to eventually get to the, you know, the final boss from here. It's like the last little section. But to get all the items yet, you got to move a lot of the bookshelves around. So what we're going to do is just slowly go through, clear it all out. That way we know we're not missing any items. Did I really not rest while we were right there? It's okay. We'll be fine or we won't, you know. Don't go that way just yet. This way kind of lets us sneak behind. Because if they aggro, they're going to run sharp to the right. Sometimes you can come behind them, not always, sometimes. So I would suggest killing everybody before we move forward. That way we don't have to worry about it, and, you know, it's easy enough just to make a quick little loop around. Hey, dumbass. Thank you. Hey, dumbass. Thank you. Alright. So, what we're going to do, as soon as we're all down, at least, is just go back to the start. Because you're going to notice there's a few hidden paths here. But like I said, I want to make sure they're all down. It can get really annoying if they get behind you. It's not something, you know, you're going to enjoy. I assure you of that. Right, so that's where I originally came in. Alright, so what we're going to do is, I guess, yeah, let's start on the far, excuse me, the far left. We know that we have cleared all the enemies. We'll pop this. And so there's a few shelves that open. It's not just one. It's actually a few of them. A lot of good stuff here, guys. Like, I mean, it's final chapter, so you can imagine there's quite a few good things. Courage amulet. I forgot what that one was. I know I never used it, so. So it's your frenzy plus 1 courage. Enhances pulse cell recharge when discharged. So. Okay. But unless you're in immediate danger, it doesn't really offer much, is the thing. Now you gotta see why I went in here blocking. Yeah. Only our heavy attack even gets to the crit. Don't you love it? So that one was empty. That drop came from him. Now, this is going to take us up and out. So before we take that, just do your rounds. Make sure you're not missing any items. Make sure you're not missing any drops. And you'll see like these little platforms. We will actually get to, the top portion here in a bit. Then, yep, that's full circle. So we are good to go. This comes later. So don't worry about it just yet. All right. So if we go to the far back left-hand corner, there it is. There's our ladder. Yeah, I mean, it's a simple layout, but it does get a little confusing to me at times. Because it's just really easy to get turned around. Thank you. Like I said, we're going to move all this shit so we can run across and get items. Really, when you get to the other side, we'll be able to do so, then we'll actually move it from there. After we get all this stuff. Like I said, pretty much when you maneuver the shelves around, that creates other paths so that you move the other side. You can't even get all of it from here. Yeah, that's done. Thank you, kind sir. Oh, we never put on our shit. We don't even need the frostbite so much. I didn't really think we'd get caught, so I didn't really mention it. Because, yeah, you're dealing with a lot of the statuses here, but at the same time, it's quite manageable. For the most part, I mean, hell, that's the first time we get caught by it. So, either way, guys. Oh, yeah. It's not yet. You're not going to be able to make it from here. We have to go out that way. That's why I was checking my notes. I'm like, I thought we got it from here. It's almost identical as the other one. You can interact a little bit of lore. So this ladder looks like the same one we took. It's not. That's what threw me off. I'm like, wait the fuck. That's what I'm saying. It's a small area, but it's so condensed. It's really easy to get turned around. So you're gonna maneuver or move this. This is gonna move your shelves. That creates your path. So that was actually a step off. It's alright. Then we backtrack. If you notice, shelves look completely different. So it gives you a route up here, yes, but it does other things too, as far as get you other paths. What we're gonna do is jump this way, and this is actually a new area. Looks the same, right? Looks the same. Man, that decay, I didn't realize that decay got that much of our durability. All those upgrades to get faster weapon recovery does not seem like it works so well, does it? And here you are. So you said you're really close to the end right now. Get ready for a fight though here, guys. I guess I should have waited to buff up. Oh, that's right. We really need it. We have consumables. If you guys backtrack, that just brings you, where we were before. So just open up shortcuts. But I did want to show it off. It's a new route, right? New route. It's actually where we originally came from. It just has changed because of the bookshelf. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I say get ready for a fight. Really big guy. But he does not like fire. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Timing's tight, too, bro. Timing's really tight. Pretty tough to say the least, but also quite manageable, if you will. Like I said, use fire. You're dealing with petrified enemies. It's going to go a long fucking way. Now, when we go for the main boss, you are going to want to switch that to electric because he's a puppet. But everything else, for the most part, is petrified. Even the puppets that are here are petrified, guys. All of them. So with that, we have made it to the end, guys. Now, the little girl, Rosaria, she's going to end up being here. Then we'll be able to complete her quest line. So, the last battle. The end of this overture is approaching. Revisit the unfinished stories from your journey. Unspoken words and unfulfilled promises may all disappear when the overture ends. So for now, we're going to rest on up as we are completely wrapped up with the DLC aside from your final boss and then one quest line. So pretty much after we take out the final boss, Rosaria will move here. Then we'll be able to actually complete her quest. Then we're gonna have to just kind of do running around. New areas will open at Hotel Crop to get us quest items and finish telling stories and record players and the Golden Rose and just loose ends, right? So either way, with that, we're gonna wrap up here. Y'all stay tuned, and we'll catch you back for the conclusion of our platinum walkthrough for Liza P. Overture.